Good morning, friends. Welcome to another amazing episode of Get In, Get With series. I'm sure you're all super excited. This is our first session post our Platinum Jubilee celebrations, and it is indeed a pleasure to welcome all of you today. Today, I have a friend of mine, Mary Florence Freda from Bangalore. And she's the founder and head of the Mary Florence Charitable Trust, which works towards cancer patients and for women empowerment. She's got over 15 years of experience in the professional social work. She does a lot for children and cancer patients. And she's a Rotarian at the Bangalore, and she also has many national and international presentations to her credit. So it's indeed a pleasure for me to welcome Mary Florence onto this August gathering. Over to you, Mary.
Actually, I'm going to present on women empowerment. Women empowerment refers to increasing the spiritual, social, educational, gender or economic strength of individuals and communities of women. Women empowerment in India is heavily dependent on different variables that include geographical, social, urban, rural, educational status, social status, caste and class and age. What is the definition of women empowerment? Women empowerment can be defined to promoting women sense of self-worth, the ability to determine their own choices and their right to influence social change for themselves and others. But despite a great deal of progress, women and girls continue to face discrimination and violence in every part of the world. Need for women empowerment. They are divided into six categories. One is decision-making power. Second is freedom of movement. Third is access to education. Fourth is access to employment. Fifth is exposure to media. And seventh is domestic violence. Decision-making power. Among those who have earnings more women, 1 in 5 than men and 1 in 8 do not have a major say in how their own earnings are used, and a few women, so about 7 in 10 men and about 9 in 10 women have a major say in their spouses earning are used. Women who earn about the same as their husband are more likely to have a major role in the use of their husband earning than women who earn than less than their husband who earn more than their husband. Less than 2 in 3 currently married women participate alone in or jointly in decisions about their own health, can largely household purchases for daily need and visits to her family and relatives. The number of decisions the number of decisions women make jointly varies positively with education and monetary with wealth, and for women having earnings that they control is associated with greater participation in decision made mainly alone. Freedom of movement. Women freedom of movement is severely curtailed. Only in 1 in 3 are allowed to go alone to the market, to health center and outside the community. Women face a large number of hurdles in accessing health care. Of the 8 specified hurdles, 1 in 4 among all women, and 47% of women in the lowest wealth and quintile face 3 or more hurdles. Access to education. Children's school attendance, only 5%, only 2.2/3 of girls and 3/4 of boys age between 16 to 17 years are attending school in is 889 girls per 1,000 boys. Literacy and education attainment of among adults. 41% of women age 50 to 49 have never been to school. Educational attainment remains very low even among 20 to 29 age. Only 27% of women have 10 or more years of education. The percentage of ever married women with 10 or more years of education has risen very slowly from 11th in NF study 1 to 17%. In NFS studies 3. Access to employment. Women aged 15 to 49 are about likely as men as the same age to be employed, 43 to 87%. The relationship of employment and wealth for women suggests that many women employment is largely a result of economic necessity. Even with the controls of education and wealth, marriage is negatively associated with the woman's likelihood of being employed and is positively associated with the man's likelihood of being employed and positively associated with the man's likelihood of being employed. Most employed women work in for someone else away from home and continuously throughout the year. About 1 in 3 do not receive monetary compensation for their work or receive at least part of their payment in kind. Most employed women work in agriculture, only 7% work in professional, technical, or managerial occupation. Exposure to media. Women have lower access to media than men in every age group. About 7% of women were exposed to media is compared to 88% in case of women. 29% of women do not have access to media regularly. Since it is an important source of empowerment, a greater proportion of women without having access to media reflects the relatively disadvantages position of women in relation to men with regards to empowerment. Domestic violence. About 2 in 5 currently age 15 to 45 have experienced spousal violence, their current marriage, and among women who have never experienced than 2 in 3 have experienced violence in the past year. Recent experience of spouse violence varies very little by marital duration, but as expected, ever experience of spouse violence increase the marital duration. Higher education and wealth consistently lower women's risk of spouse violence, and husband's mother who has beaten by a spouse is significantly increase the risk. Although women agree that wife beating is justified, have a high relevance of violence in one out of 3 women who do not agree that wife beating is justified have also experienced violence. Ways to empower women: change in women's mobility and social interaction, change in women's labor patterns, change in women's access and control over resources, change in women's control over decision making. Women in empowerment speech. The government and several NGOs are making efforts to empower women by creating awareness, but the true meaning of women empowerment will be achieved when gender inequality will be eliminated. We need to give equal opportunities to women for equal pay, equal respect, and as equal to men. We look forward to such a nation. So what is the social environment? Political environment of women is only a part of the overall mainstreaming of women. Education of women means greater awareness of their role in society, awareness of their rights, better knowledge of housekeeping, and better performance of their role as a housewife and mother. Education and training have opened up the awareness of employment and self-employment in the organized center as never before. Are working in diverse as doctor, engineers, IAS officers, IPS officers, and bank official, and in a wide range of sectors in the unorganized sector. In agriculture, most of the operations are run by women. What is the role of non-government organization? Non-government organizations are playing a significant role in the empowerment of disadvantaged women. Just a few years after independence, the government set up Central Social Welfare Board, an apex body and voluntary center that aids more than 10,000 non-government organizations across the country, helping women on their own through such program as socio-economic program, voluntary training, and other similar program. Role of environment government NGOs gave them opportunity for free in the social and political spheres, which were not easily granted by the non-profit and public sector. Many NGOs that work to alleviate poverty among women who focus in advocating women's rights. They have brought important changes in the lives of women. NGOs have play a major role in enforcing rights provided by legislation in India. NGOs also play a significant and meaningful role towards promoting self-employment of women by the following ways. Role of government. The Women and Child Department have been implementing special programs for the holistic development and empowerment of women with major focus to improve the socio-economic status. There has been policy shifts from time to time based on the shifts in emphasis. The year 2001 has declared as the Women Empowerment Year to bring greater focus on the programs of women. A program of support of training employment of women. STEP was launched in 1987 to strengthen and improve the skills of employment opportunities for women below the poverty line in agriculture. Small animal as husbandry, etc., where women are employed in on a larger scale. Swayam Darshan launched in March 2001 and Seva Shakti project, earlier known as Rural Development Empowerment Project, in October 1998. The conclusion is women represent half of the world population and gender inequality exists in every nation of the planet. Until women are given the same opportunities than men, the entire society will be destined to perform below their true potential. The greatest need of the hour is the changing of social attitude of women. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mary, for that insight and all the statistical understanding of, how women are placed. As all of us know, we as women, most of us, even in this, seminar, are women. It's very important for each of us to understand that few of us have been so fortunate enough to fly or really spread our wings and have a mark in society, but still India or in general Asian countries have a very little women empowerment going on. Few of us have really touched the skies, but nevertheless everyday middle class or lower middle class women are fighting for their rights, especially in this kind of an environment. So Mary, according to you, we would just like to have some more insights according to you, because you're a part of the lot of social work, and just let us know in Bangalore city, the way you work, at least what is the scenario related to women there?
Ma'am, actually, the educated and upper middle class are doing well jobs, but there is a lot of opportunity for the lower class also, because Bangalore is a job opportunity hub. So everybody, even the 10th fail or pass, will get job in mall like in 7,000, 8,000 rupees. Lot of opportunities are there for educated and uneducated. And those who know computer skills, if they are done 10th standard and they know computer, they are put into IT sector also. So main is you should know computers in Bangalore to search any job. Whether you are educated or uneducated, you get lot of opportunities.
Okay.
Yeah, I know so many of my friends who have done only 10th standard and they are working in IT company.
Wonderful. So do you think in a few years time, maybe 5 to 10 years forward, do you think that women will be placed in a much better scheme, especially with the two government schemes you had spoken about? How do you think that has made a difference in today's world?
Actually, in Karnataka, we have this one self-help groups where they divide women into 10 groups, and they pay 500 people, and monthly they will pay, and come some people pay 1,000, 2,000, and one of the group, if they have a function like child's naming ceremony or marriage, they take loans from there only, and that interest rate goes to bank also.
I guess such, small scale industry, women groups are there all over the country. Even in Chennai, I know most of the banks, especially the banks which empower women in terms of women banks, have had a big hand in, helping women in all aspects as they can do it. What all are this money given for? You said child naming ceremony, which is a family function. Is it given
And
even for
marriage,
people? Okay, marriage. That's again a
marriage,
personal one.
and if you have small business like agarbatti business or knitting, or you can sell, you in Bangalore is a very cold place, so you can knit sweaters and you can sell it, or shawls, like that small type of, otherwise cooking for 50 or 150 or 200 people, and then going to taking it in auto and going and distributing in stall next to mall. There's a place given for our vendors, there you can go and do. And there is a women cell where they, if you know, if anybody don't have money for lawyers, there's the Vimochana, one NGO is their women's NGO. There, the lawyers will fight cases for people who, girls who are arrested in their husband's house or beaten. They have Vimochana is an NGO, and it's the past defense minister George Fernandez sister-in-law is only running that NGO. Her name is Donna Fernandez. Vimochana, big NGO in Bangalore. So if anybody says the lawyers are charging fees, you can go directly approach her, and she'll do the needful for the society in Bangalore.
That's a wonderful set of information which you have, shared, Mary. Can you throw some more light on basic domestic violence there? Are the rates increasing?
Yeah, actually, mainly it's most in the case of arranged marriage, because I feel my friends, those who have done love marriage, are more successful than the people who have gone into arranged marriage. Because my own friend is a top person in Bangalore, program manager. Her name is Nagaratna. She's a Brahmin. She's constructed a big house in JP Nagar in 2 crores. But unfortunately, it's arranged marriage only. But I don't know what happened. That husband, she's earning more. He didn't allow her to go for work, and the mother-in-law told to wash her clothes. Like, she was totally this one. Then I suggested a lawyer. I know a very good lawyer in Bangalore who's a reasonable late. He's a Malayali. His name is KB Satish. So I referred her, and within 70 to hello, ma'am.
Yeah, you go ahead.
And 70 to 80,000 he had finished the case. With other persons, 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs. A Bangalore lawyer fees is very this one. So I feel in arranged marriage only lot of problems is coming in Bangalore city, because most of those who are in love marriage, they somehow they survive, because most of them are working in IT field, and they know each other. They go to each other's house before marriage. They know each other, and they register their marriage. That and all is happening. But in arranged marriage only, most of my friends who have done arranged marriage only have gone into divorce case.
I understand, and in fact, we had a discussion on whether arranged marriages or love marriages at this point of time, and even a discussion which we had about a week before. The statistics are telling that arranged marriages are happening without the will of or without the understanding of the bride and the groom, and that is one reason why right now love marriages are a little more successful than the arranged marriages. Again, this could be a debatable topic by itself, because some would be for and some would be
no. I have a live example, because my friend is a heart transplant patient. She is the first heart transplant in Karnataka to go heart transplant 2 times. She has a person who has married her, and he knows he cannot have any pleasure with her, but then also he's married her, and she's living successful life. It's been 15 years since She was diagnosed in 2006. Since she lives with her, and they're done register. Recently, last January, it was marriage was happened in big way. So such things have happened. Actually, I go often to see her because it was done by Dr. Cherian only from Chennai. That was her surgery 2 times, heart transplant. So
Absolutely. I mean, many statistics right now are showing, acceptance of people and understanding to be the basic foundation of a marriage. So probably love marriage could have, but again, as I told you earlier, it could be a debatable topic, and we will definitely have much more insights on that. How, according to you, today's women are getting empowered in terms of you spoke about the lower middle class group where you said education and then workforce is becoming much better. You also spoke about opportunities being a little more open. So I'm asking in terms of the openness to learn, or the willingness to learn. What I have understood is right now, the schools, there are a lot of dropouts, and the dropouts are more in terms of, children, girls, probably when they attain puberty. Still, I mean, it might sound a little absurd for many of us, but once they attain puberty, they are not allowed to go for their normal education. So how, according to you, that has changed, or that scenario is?
Actually, in Bangalore city, ma'am, most of the people who they have 10th standard also, they are confident because they exposed because Bangalore city is like that. They are exposed to so many things. So as soon as if they pass or fail, they just do a computer course and they'll sit for 6 months till they write the repeater. Then they won't study. They'll go and work in any mall, and that only is paying 8,000, 9,000. In Bangalore, everybody's, you can't make out who's a rich person, who's a poor person. Everybody will be more, you can't make out who's educated, who's uneducated. Actually, educated people are more simpler than uneducated people in Bangalore. That is the scenario in Bangalore, because we are educated, but we are just simple interest. But you see the people who are working in malls and small shops, they are more stylish. We see them, you might think they're a big officer in the work, but actually they are not doing that job. That is the Bangalore scenario. But in as far as I have gone to Tamil Nadu, they're very simple, but they'll be the top IAS officers. I know because my own friend's father was a officer in Chennai. His name is her name is Arulkani Tyagarajan. So he was IAS officer for in Chennai quite some time back. But she's very simple, and now she's doing MSW and in Mumbai, and she's working there only in tests. So there, she's very Tamil Nadu people. They're very simple, but they are even though are very educated. But in Bangalore scenario, it's not like that.
I
Bangalore,
think,
they more dress, and the way you speak English, and no one will speak mother tongue. Even their mother tongue is Kannada also, they like to speak English. First, they'll introduce themselves English only. No other local language they won't speak. English is the common language in Bangalore.
maybe I think I will give some credit to women empowerment there. Like, they want to feel the best, look the best, dress best, and move forward, right? They don't want to look back in life. That could also be a positive, if I could say, a positive message. And as such, Tamil Nadu, or let me say for that matter, South India, of course, Bangalore is a cosmopolitan city. We are pretty much more simple people than the rest of the country. I guess that's the reason. Lovely interacting with you, Mary. I know there was a lot of technical glitch in the beginning, but I guess a lot of inputs, a lot of information which we have got through this session. I have Mr. Kannan, who has said, very interesting session on women empowerment. And Kannan's sister was a member of the All India Women Welfare Association in Delhi under Mohini Giri in the early 90s. And he used to tell the number of such cases where women had to fight and get the respect what she deserves in society. So absolutely true, sir. I mean, the scenario is changing definitely, but still the statistics is bending a little more towards, a lot of helplessness because of economical background. But I think right now the scenario is changing with every woman standing up for her family and moving forward. And like we all know, Singer Pen, which means, women are trying to come forward in every field as possible. Even fields like mechanical engineering, which was mostly reserved for men, or surgical, whichever medical field of surgery where, people were there. I guess women have come forward. And even if you look at gynecology, today, if you think about a male gynecologist, you might be thinking, oh, that is not possible, right? But there was a time when only men dominated the field of gynecology. And today we can say it is totally women dominated. And as far as dentistry is concerned, I being a dentist, I can say, again, women are almost 80% in all dental colleges against men who are 15 to 20%. So I guess definitely, women empowerment is going up, but still there is a lot more for each of us to do and empower our set of people as much as possible. Thank you so much, Mary, for those wonderful, wonderful insights. And it was indeed a pleasure listening to you. If you have some takeaway points on women empowerment, I will allow you to share them. And then probably we can open the floor for a discussion.
Actually, I see a lot of empowerment in Bangalore. More people are in the medical and dental. More women are there because I worked in medical college for 3 years. First, initially of my career, 15 years career, I worked at St. John's Medical College. They're full. 90% are girls. Only 2 are boys, and even in MD also same thing. And the people who are come are from the come to Bangalore are not the Bangalore based also, all from some other district like Mandya, Bidar, and they are the topping in the Bangalore Medical and John Medical in CT, and now it net exam. So that in girls are more in the field of medical, especially. Because whenever we call just dial for any medical problem, first a lot of ladies' names will come. But I didn't see more in skin only, but other fields all other. And dental, medical, gynecology, everybody, surgery, many is there in St. John's and all. Because I am related to medical and psychiatry.
So, absolutely. Wonderful, wonderful. So delegates, if you have any questions other than what is posted here, you can definitely unmute yourself and then you can share your questions or give your feedbacks on this presentation. Anybody raising your hands? Okay, so thank you so much, Mary, for those wonderful insights on women empowerment. I know this is a topic which is close to many of us because we are all being women. We would want the best for our people. But what we have seen in reality is sometimes women don't encourage the other women in the house. So it could be in the form of, mother-in-laws or sister-in-laws or, things like that. But I think it is all very individualistic based. We all can change. We can be the game changer in our families. We can stop violence. We can think about empowering women, encouraging them, even in our basic day-to-day activity. If you cook nicely, you can tell them, I loved the food you cooked. It tastes so nice. You kept the house very beautifully done. This small amount of encouragements, these acts of kindness can really go a big way in empowering each woman in any small way in your own house. And this can go on in, when you get domestic help or when you have people to help you, those helpers also you can empower empower as many women as possible and make this place a better place to live in. Because I personally feel, and this is what we have read also, that you educate a man, you just educate a man. But when you educate a woman or you empower a woman, you empower a family, you empower a society, you empower an entire community. So I think, women empowerment, we will keep talking about this. And with Women's Day coming up, I'm sure each of us would want to do the best for the women around us. So take care, my dear friends. It was a great Saturday morning with all of you, and looking forward to meeting all of you soon in another session at Get In Get Fit series. Thank you so much. Take care. Namaste.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Mary. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.